ZNS Total Sports is brought to you by Fourth Terrace Diagnostic Center.
Welcome to sports, everybody. Some track and field news starting us off. Three Bahamians at the Diamond League meet today in Monaco. Stephen Gardner out first in his specialty, the men's 400 meters. Gardner was coming off a win in Hungary on Tuesday in 44.45. This time around, he was once again the class of the field, winning by almost a half a second. The Bahamian broke the tape in 44.51. Abraman Samba from Qatar was second in 45 flat. Now, this race got off to a peculiar start with a false start, which saw two runners going 200 meters and the other going a whole lap around without hearing the gun. Now, only the restart saw 6 of the 8 competitors in the field were at the starting line. Now, like Gardner, Shawnee Miller-Weibo also coming off a win in Hungary on Tuesday. She lined up in a stacked field for the women's 200. She took on the likes of Jamaica's Elaine Thompson, Daphne Skippers of the Netherlands, American Jenna Prandini, and Marie-José Talou from the Ivory Coast. Now, this was a tight one for 150 meters, but at that time, Shawnee would pull away. She won in a season best time of 22.09. Thompson and Skippers, they were second and third respectively in 22.44 and 22.45. Now, Latario Coley-Mans, he was the other Bahamian competing in Monaco today. He contested the men's triple jump. He finished 8th with the best of 54 feet, 2.5 inches. Well, Team Bahamas gearing up for the Pan Am Games later on this month. And as Amajal Knowles tells us, at least one swimmer will be looking to make a huge splash.
We're roughly 2 weeks away from the Pan Am Games in Lima, Peru, starting on July 26. So in the interim, the ZNS Total Sports team will take a look at some of the athletes that will be representing the 242, starting up first with one of our swimmers, Devontae Carey, one of the 10 athletes that will represent the Bahamas in aquatics, and how his training and preparation has been going.
I came back from CC I think it was Friday. I got in the pool Saturday, just trying to feel the water back there, and then I got in straight back into training, full training Monday, and then straight into today, obviously. So I'm really just training hard, trying to fine-tune some more technique work, holding on to the last 15, stuff like that in races. So really just working on endurance and speed right now.
Recently coming back from what you describe as an impressive individual performance at CC Can in Barbados, Devontae is hoping to build on that momentum.
Coming off of Nationals, I think it was a great performance. I got 3 golds. I missed my championship record, the CC Can record, in the 50 backstroke. Not disappointed saying that I just came off of Nationals, but I'm fine with that. I still have a next year in that age group, so hopefully just go for it next year. But overall, I think it was a great performance.
Carey also adding that he is happy with his growth as a swimmer over the past few years.
This year has been, I can't even explain it. It's just mind-blowing. Coming from last year, actually this Carifta, I didn't have too much of a good performance as I hoped, but I came back training hard after that. Nationals, I had the best meet of my life, and then CC Can had even more better swims. I just have to stay focused, train hard, and listen to Coach say.
Again, the Pan Am Games is slated for July 26th through August 11th. Now stay tuned for our next swim feature that will focus on swimmer Jared Fitzgerald. For ZNS Total Sports, I'm Amajal Knowles.
Justin Roberts back on court today at the Cancun Tennis Cup in Mexico, teaming with Jody Maidenly from Antigua. The 4-seeded duo continuing to roll. They picked up another straight sets win, 6-2-2 in quarterfinal round action against South African Ricard Bierman and Ryan Sharma from Australia. From the minor league baseball diamond yesterday, Lucius Fox, he was 1 for 4, a triple, an RBI, and 2 runs scored. He also stole his 31st base of the season in Montgomery's 9-2 win over Pensacola. Jazz Chisholm 1 for 5, a run scored as the Jackson Generals double up Birmingham 8-4. Trent DeVoe was 1 for 3, a double, and run scored. He stole his 3rd base in the Arizona League. The Angels losing to the Athletics 8-3. Christian Robinson 1 for 4, a double, and Hillsborough's 3-1 win over Boise. As for James Roll, he was 2 for 4, a run scored in the Dominican League. The Orioles suffered an 18-4 loss to the Nationals. Jonquil Jones has been named a starter for the AT&T WNBA All-Star Game. It's the second All-Star selection for Jones, who was also a starter in 2017. In her 4th season, Jones leads the WNBA in rebounds with 156. That's an average of 10.4 per game. She is the only player currently averaging a double-double. When you add up her 15.4 points per game. The WNBA All-Star is on July 27th at the Mandalay Bay Event Center in Las Vegas. Now, Jones and the Sun, they will try and snap a 5-game losing streak tonight, their longest in the past 3 years. They will host the Phoenix Mercury. Sun coming in at 9-6, Mercury 7-6. This is the first meeting between the two teams this season, and Jones spoke about what needs to happen in order for the Sun to turn it around.
Have to, change up our schemes a little bit. I think that me personally, I can't get in early foul trouble regardless of how the refs are calling it. I have to be able to be on the court, get my flow, and then also be able to help my team. So just all of that stuff, and then we're a team that sticks together. We try to stick together no matter what.
The Caribbean Bottling Company, through its Sprite brand, pulling out all the stops to support the busy summer basketball schedule. The 24 Hope Buddy Hield Basketball Clinic, the Peace on the Streets Basketball Classic, and Hooping by the Park, just 3 of the initiatives Sprite has been giving financial backing to.
We have 24 young athletes that will be traveling from throughout the Bahamas, and they will come together with Mr. Hield along with 4 of his NBA affiliates, his high school coaches, of course his college coaches, and he will mentor and train these young gentlemen for the entire week.
We believe that if we could create good, positive environments for our young people, we could be able to help them to make good, positive choices, and that's what the Peace on the Street Basketball Classic is all about.
Hooping by the Park is a basketball tournament, but we're trying to do more, bigger than basketball. We're trying to bring the community together.
The Kevin K.J. Johnson Basketball Camp, also supported by Sprite, and it closed out earlier today at the C.I. Gibson Gym. Camp has received prizes and awards while also getting one last chance to show off what they've learned on the court.
They learn a lot about the game of basketball, the fundamental of the game of basketball. But most of all, we want these kids to interact and have a good relationship with each other. We want them to understand to resolve conflicts. We have a lot of kids from the inner city who don't have much money to pay for camp. So I will never turn them away because it's about helping the youth of this country. Get Dan Rod, Tinker, all those guys been in my program, been to the camp. They're in college right now. Dan Rod graduated with his bachelor's degree. 2 of them still in college. They want to come back to give back in terms of teaching the game of basketball. They learn, a lot of them learn at the camp, and they were good enough to get scholarship to further education. Now they're back and helping out and giving out to hopefully some of these young ones going to get scholarship in the near future.
As KJ would have alluded to, Dan Rad Chicken Knowles is now back from school helping out with the camp. The former camper turned instructor spoke about how it's been going since he graduated from the University of Houston.
I haven't been doing much hooping, but coming back into it because, I'm still hurt. But probably go see the doctor probably next week sometime. I still got some more time, so I'll play a little bit and probably come back and coach because, they need some help around here just to teach people the game and how to play it the right way.
Thanks to BPL, just one game last night in the Province Softball Association as the lights went out once again. The Johnson Lady Truckers rolling over the Strikers by a final of 18-3.
It was pretty awesome. She was new and I was pitching to her. It was good. Once she showed me the targets and I worked with my different skills in pitching, it was pretty good. And we had a nice teamwork. The effort, it was awesome.
Well, first of all, we have a lot of our players missing because our girls play JBLN and they're traveling to Washington to play. So we use the core group we have right now, and it's just basically getting better at mechanics and normal plays. And I guess a lot of them still kind of get jealous sometimes because the older ones they haven't played in a while, so it's like they get nervous. And then the younger ones out here playing against women, so they're a little scared. So it's good when you could see them get out of that. So I think they're working on that right now.
On Sunday, the 5th annual Chickchorney Challenge will take over the capital. The previous 4 years, the Clifton Heritage Park was the venue, but this time around, they're moving downtown for a change of scenery. It starts 7 a.m. at Pirates Republic. There aren't any specific categories, but individual and team prizes will be handed out.
It's an obstacle course run. We have about 18 obstacles throughout 4 miles in this particular race. And it really is challenging every part of the physical body, right? You got your running, you got your climbing, you got your crawling, just things to challenge every aspect of fitness.
That's a look at sports. The Bahamas Tonight comes back after the break.
ZNS Total Sports is brought to you by 4th Terrace Diagnostic Center.